Man, I hate to make this video because I've been a big fan of Vivek Ramaswamy. Usually he says things that are intelligent. Usually he gets deeper into issues that other people don't. Like, for example, keep talking about the fentanyl issue and we keep talking about the supply. He says, well, it's not just a supply issue, it's a demand issue. And young people, there's a lot of depression, there's a lot of suicide. We need purpose. So usually he goes deeper into issues. But on this h1b, this giving foreign workers these permits, which are 3 to 6 years, to basically take American jobs. And right now there's a limit to how many of these permits there can be, and him and Elon are for getting rid of this limit, and apparently somebody else on the Trump administration as well, getting rid of that limit and allowing a bunch of foreign workers into the country. How is that America first? And it seems to contradict a lot of the things that Trump has been saying about protecting American workers. Well, Vivek had a tweet about this, and it's just about the dumbest tweet I've ever seen. And it's so unusual, so not consistent with the statements that he usually makes. It makes absolutely no sense. So that's what we're going to get into now. And by the way, I'm somebody who's been in information technology, the business management side of information technology, information systems technology, digital, for over 25 years. And how I broke into that industry was through opportunity. If those jobs were just imported from other countries, then that opportunity wouldn't have existed for me. And I'll get more into that later. But here's what he sent out. So the reason top tech companies often hire foreign-born and first-generation engineers over Native Americans, well, how about U.S. citizens? Native Americans has a different meaning, isn't because of an innate American IQ deficit, a lazy and wrong explanation. I haven't heard anybody say that America has an IQ deficit. A key part of it comes down to the C word culture. Tough questions demand tough answers. And if we're really serious about fixing a problem, we have to confront the truth. Okay, we do have cultural problems. Apparently, a lot of public schools have gotten rid of advanced classes for students that excel because, well, there's too many white people in them, so they're racist. So the hell with black and Hispanic and Asian students that were doing grade work level well beyond the regular standard class that really would have benefited by being able to excel in these advanced classes. We're just getting rid of it for everybody. And apparently in colleges now, it used to be a big deal to have a 4.0 average, but now everybody gets an A. So we certainly have some culture issues, but how is importing more foreign workers to take away American jobs? How does that help our culture at all? And then he's going to get into really strange statements about our culture that just make no sense and seem like the rambling of a weird uncle who's had too much to drink. Our American culture has generated mediocrity over excellence for way too long, at least since the 90s and likely longer. That doesn't start in college, it starts young. A culture that celebrates the prom queen over the math Olympiad champ or the jock over the valedictorian will not produce the best engineers. This sounds like fluff. This sounds absolutely meaningless. A culture that venerates Corey from Boy Meets World or Zack and Slater over Screech and Saved by the Bell. So all our problems with our culture are because people like Zack more than Screech. I mean, so since people tend to like Zack more than Screech, we got to import more foreign workers to take away American jobs. That makes perfect sense. What an intelligent comment to make. Now, I'm from an older generation. Okay, so for me, it was Star Trek. It was I watched a lot of shows from Japan, Spectre Man, Ultraman, Johnny Sacco and his flying robot, Speed Racer. Okay, so Star Trek, Lost in Space, Gunsmoke. So I watched those shows a lot. So what? I mean, and a couple of those shows had strong male role models. Talk about Star Trek, talk about Gunsmoke. Other ones, I loved Sanford and Son. I don't know if Fred Sanford was a great role model. Lost in Space, Dr. Smith became really popular even though he's a coward and a psychopath. He tried to kill the Robinsons on multiple occasions. But who cares? This is entertainment. What does this have to do with anything? Because Americans tend to like a sitcom any television show like one character over another? What a bunch of mindless fluff. What is the point of this? And once again, oh, well, because of this, we got to bring in more workers. And it just goes on like fewer reruns of Friends. And then he actually says this, less chilling, more extracurriculars, less hanging out at the mall. How old is he? What year does he think this is? Who hangs out in the mall anymore? Who's hung out at the mall for decades? Malls are dying. They're closing. I mean, what an insane, out of step comment to make. I mean, for my background, I worked in manufacturing in the mid-90s. And I worked in manufacturing. I manufactured fast food cartons. So in the 90s, if you ate from McDonald's or Burger King or Wendy's, there's a good chance you ate from a carton that came from a paper roll that I hung and spliced, had ink that I mixed, even paper that went through my hands as I packed cartons on a pallet, which then went to a machine that folded them and glued them. And I went from that to IT through opportunity. There were certifications you can get. You can get a book, study your ass off, get another book that had a bunch of practice exams. Then they had a testing center you would go to. You would empty your pockets. You couldn't carry anything into the room where you would take the test. So no phone, not even a Kleenex. Empty your pockets, you go in, you take the test. If you pass, you get a certification. So I got a bunch of IT certifications, but there's words for people who had certifications, no experience. They were paper certified. So it was still difficult to break into the industry. But then I started at a company that had an advanced program that sent me through boot camp to learn the applications that they provided. And I became a consultant for these applications, going to companies, getting them implemented, getting them configured. So that's how I broke in. That was through opportunity, and that's through a guy that was manufacturing fast food cartons. And the people I worked with in manufacturing, a lot of them were highly intelligent. So if you want more people, if we have a deficit, if we need more people in these industries, why not go after the people that have the aptitude and give them the opportunity? Why not go into high schools, STEM programs, or even people that can take a test where you can test that level and then talk to them about, hey, we can send you to a boot camp and we can benefit you and we can give you this opportunity to increase supply if that's such an issue, because we have the talent. We have the intelligence. Why aren't you investing in Americans? This is supposed to be America first. So why aren't you coming up with more, promoting technical schools, promoting more of this opportunity for kids getting out of college that have the aptitude? And by the way, aptitude's big. To work in tech, you do have to have a certain aptitude for it. You have to be pretty quick and logical with certain things. You have to have some abilities to get into this industry. So why not put in that effort rather than give up and say, well, since people like Zack more than the other guy, then we just got to bring in these foreign workers. And a lot of them have taken American jobs. This is why you're seeing a pushback. I knew a guy that worked at Motorola. Him and a bunch of other people were laid off, but in order to get your compensation package, you had to train the people that were going to replace you. And they were foreigners making less money, and that's what this really is about. So what Vivek posted here is absolutely nonsense, and really unusual for him to just post fluff, just post absolute garbage that's not even attached to the issue. And you want to talk about culture. You know, look around the world. There's a lot of crappy culture going on. So to just pick on American culture, I mean, you look at China. You look at China during COVID. You look at the zero COVID policy. You look at what they did, dragging people out of their homes, killing their animals, locking up people inside of high rises. So there's a lot of horrible things regarding culture going around the world. Yeah, the United States has problems with culture. Guess what? A whole lot of other countries do as well. And once again, how does it help our culture? A big thing, a big hope with Trump winning is an improvement of our culture, and to give hope and to give purpose to United States citizens. How does it help the culture to say, hey, we're going to let you go. We're bringing in a foreign worker to take your job. How does that help our culture? Anyway, that's my rant. A real big disappointment. Hopefully he can turn this around, but this was just insanely dumb. Just not thought out it. And like I said, this is like the rantings of some drunken weird uncle or something. This is not the writings, the post of somebody that's really given this a lot of thought and actually has something that's intelligent. This was just absolute nonsense. So that's my take on it. Please share yours. This is Jim. Thanks for watching. Until next time.
Cisco, do we have to leave all our good friends now?
Only until next time, Pancho. Adios, amigos.